How did Dollar Shave Club cut Gillette's market share down to size with a funny YouTube video? How did MailChimp go viral with the help of cereal? And how can your company fool your competitors into underestimating you by playing the jester? This is Zonal Marketing. How are we? Welcome to episode 25 of Zonal Marketing, a series which explores how innovative brands are shaking up their industries with extraordinary marketing. I'm Simon Vincent, the ex-CMO, and in this episode I'm exploring the jester archetype and how applying it to your marketing can make your brand more compelling, something that's an absolute must if you are a challenger brand or trying to disrupt an industry. The jester is one of 12 personality archetypes developed by the Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung in 1919. It was his assertion that each of us, because he was applying the archetypes to people rather than brands, each of us has at our core one single archetype. It's innate and unchangeable and is essentially the part of our personality that comes out when we are completely ourselves. Popular culture has, over the years, played up these archetypes in order to quickly and easily communicate the idea of heroes, villains, fair maidens, dragons, etc. As such, on a subconscious level, we as humans have become extremely adept at recognizing these archetypes and adjusting our attitudes, expectations, and allegiances towards certain personality types accordingly. When applied to brands marketing, the jester is an archetype that's characterized by the use of humor to create a connection with its customers. However, as we will see, brands that truly exhibit the jester archetype also add a mischievous twist to their communications. Indeed, Jung's own label for the archetype was the trickster, and some of the most famous jesters from pop culture, think of the Fool from Shakespeare's King Lear or Feste in Twelfth Night, they combine their humour with a roguish insurrection that looks to undermine the powers that be. So don't, whatever you do, fall into the trap of assuming that jesters are idiots. Often, their humour disguises a wit and perceptiveness that allows them to identify flaws in and poke fun at the main protagonist while getting away with it. The humour comes from the fact that the audience gets the in-jokes, while the usually immensely powerful subject of the ridicule doesn't. And in the next section, I'll look at how two brands have managed to bring the jester archetype to life with great success. When Dollar Shave Club launched in 2012, they did so with their "Our Blades Are Effing Great" video. It turned them into an overnight success, quite literally. The humour wasn't for everybody, but then, is it ever? It was very masculine in nature, which is absolutely fine, given that their original product, razors, are predominantly used by men. It was edgy, note the use of the expletive in the title, but it also subtly poked fun at their competitors. In the video, founder Michael Dubin can be heard to say, "Do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer." And this was a not-so-veiled dig at Gillette, the Procter & Gamble-owned company for whom the tennis star was a very prominent brand ambassador. At the time, Gillette was not so much an industry leader as a behemoth of the razor world, so Dubin wasn't so much bringing a knife to a gunfight as turning up armed with a disposable razor, only to find his competitor owned a guillotine. And with all of their P&G-backed power, Gillette should have, by rights, chopped off his head. But Goliath underestimated David, of course. And in 2017, the Financial Times noted that market share for Procter & Gamble has hardly grown since 2011. Meanwhile, private label brands have doubled their share, but no brand has matched Dollar Shave Club's rapid growth during the past 7 years. Dubin's 3 million subscribers spent a reported $160 million last year. And it's not just B2C brands who can be funny. When the email marketing service MailChimp launched an awareness-building campaign through partnering with the podcast series Serial in 2014, their famous ad spot featured a Vox Pop-style piece of audio in which people were heard talking about the company. However, one member of the public struggled to say the brand's name. MailChimp? She asks. Now, while other brands might have shied away from using her audio, MailChimp kept it in the edit, and MailChimp went viral. Founder Ben Chestnut has tweeted the MailChimp accident reached 36 million people and inspired our Did You Mean campaign, which reached 334 million more. Why did it work? Because Serial's cult following soon realised that using the MailChimp hashtag on Twitter was an in-joke that helped identify other Serial files. And of course, when everyone else kept seeing hashtag MailChimp appearing in their timelines, they just had to find out what it meant as well. So through poking fun at the usually staid world of B2B marketing and building a tribe of people who got the joke, MailChimp was set on the way to becoming the phenomenon it is today. Indeed, last year, this B2B company, run by self-styled nerdy misfits, was bought by Intuit for a valuation of approximately $12 billion. So how can you apply the Jester archetype to your marketing and help you disrupt whatever industry your company is in? The first thing to mention is that archetypes only work if applied consistently. You cannot simply make one funny ad and then have everything else you do be corporate and devoid of personality. Both Dollar Shave Club and MailChimp have grown to where they are now because of the light-hearted tone of voice and visual identity being reflected through everything they do, from their social to their website to their packaging, and crucially, they've stuck with it to this day. Once you've created a collection of guidelines on how you speak, do you swear, do you use slang, do you use puns, etc., and how you look, so do you have men dressed as teddy bears in your YouTube videos, think about which channels you should focus your content on. So brand archetypes work best for companies that are trying to disrupt the market because they pull your customer in. They make a connection. They make your customer feel like you get them. Your bigger, better funded competitors will no doubt be pushing their messages onto your customers, advertising on broadcast channels with salesy messaging that talks about features and benefits. So your job is to pull customers away from your competitors by building a better brand. And that is typically done by using the defensive audience channels. Channels on which your target customer is able to talk to you, about you, and to others about you. So social media, review sites, email, WhatsApp, these are all channels in which you are not able to control the conversation. But because of that, they are typically misunderstood by big brands, and using them to build viral conversation around your challenger brand is a subversive, relatively inexpensive, highly effective tool for challenger brands. It's for this reason that I refer to this form of marketing as counterattacking. By focusing on building your tribe with fundamentally defensive, brand-focused comms that pull your customers in, you're opening up a space that makes it easier to make sales afterwards. Much like a Jose Mourinho football team plays a low block, allowing its opposition to control the ball before breaking directly and at speed once their opponent is overcommitted. I go into a huge amount of detail about how to use counterattacking marketing, specifically focusing on Tesla actually in my episode on how to disrupt your industry. Okay, that's about all for this week. For more on the ideas and approaches mentioned in this episode, I recommend checking out my core Zonal Marketing playlist, on which I take you through the process of building a considered, creative and compelling marketing mix from scratch, taking my lead from the world of sports tactics. If you prefer more of the human touch, you can ask me to talk through these ideas with you and your team one-to-one. I'm available for speaking gigs, training sessions and client work, and to find out how to talk to me about any of that, please visit x-cmo.com. Check back here every week for a new episode, each one exploring how an innovative brand is shaking up their industry with extraordinary marketing. As always, if you're enjoying this series, please do like, comment, share, subscribe and or review, depending on the platform you're on. It all really helps the channels. And if it helps the channels, I'm hoping it'll help more people just like you. Until next time, thank you very much for your attention.